Greetings. Welcome to Chant Day. Today is the 4th. Yep, the 4th. On the 4th of the month, I do story time. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up. I don't have my 2 screens because my cord broke, but I ordered a new one. So story time today is going to be a story from a book that I really like. And we'll get that going today at 4. Story time at 4. So 4 o'clock Eastern time, tune in. We're going to chant, do our story time. And today's psalm is 61. Lead I to the rock. Yep, lead I to the rock. Lead I to the rock. So we're going to get going with our psalm. And the psalm echoes that it's leading I to the rock. And what is the rock? I call St. Thomas Rock City. When I land on St. Thomas, I always say I landed on the rock. So, and then we see in biblical times, we have the stone the builder refused. That is a rock. That stone that the builder refused. We see the stone that was moved away from the tomb. The stone that was moved away. And so we see the rock, and there's other psalms that talk about look up to the hills, you find your strength, right? So when we look at leading to the rock, it's very powerful in that the rock represents righteousness. This rock is representing righteousness, and is going to be refused. The builders are going to refuse righteousness. They're going to refuse kindness and love, and they're going to take it in a twisted way. When you're trying to be kind, loving, long-suffering, humble, people take it sometimes as you think you're better than them, or they take it as a weakness, or they take it as you're being petty, or they take it as you feel like you're better than everyone else. So when we look at how people perceive righteousness, goodness, mercy, and love, it's gonna perceive your righteousness and your kindness is gonna be perceived in a twisted way, because people are twisted. They cannot wrap themselves fully around righteousness completely. They're gonna err on the side of wrongness. They're gonna have that thoughts in their minds about you, that something is wrong with you, because really in reality something is wrong with them. So in order to shift the blame on from them, they have to put it on to you. You're the one who's petty. You're the one who's being spiteful. You're the one who's doing this and doing that. So when that happens, you have to realize that you're going to be alone. You're alone in this journey of righteousness, mercy, love, and kindness, because folks are not that way. They're not that way. So the Psalm 61 starts off with crying. I feel like crying right now for what I went through yesterday with folks. Attacks and attacks and attacks, attacking my kindness, attacking my integrity, attacking my compassion, attacking my humbleness. So in Psalm 61, we look at the first verse. Listen to I cry, O Most High of righteousness. That is righteousness. Listen to I words of communication, how I commune with the Most High. Listen to that. From the end of the earth all the way in the Virgin Islands, on a tiny island at the end of the earth, I call to the most righteousness of Most Almighty. I call to that when my heart is faint. Lead I to the rock that is higher than I. Seek for what is above, not for what is below. Seek for something higher. Lead I to the rock that is higher than I. For you, who is you? Righteousness have been I safe space, a strong tower against the enemy. The enemy is against righteousness. The enemy is against humbleness and kindness and love. That's what the enemy is. And sometimes we are our worst enemy because we err on the side of those ugly places. Being combative and hostile and argumentative and quarrelsome, we err on those sides. So we are our worst enemy. We're fighting against ourselves sometimes. So when we look at this strong tower, and who is you is righteousness, have been a safe space, a strong tower against wrongness. So in verse 4, we see, let I dwell in righteousness for all time to come. And who is your tent? Your is the Most High, the righteousness, the goodness, the mercy, the love, the kindness. Verse 4 is pleading, let I live in those spaces around folks that are kind, compassionate. They don't have animosity towards you. They're not jealous. They're not envious. They're not strifeful. They're not hostile. You want to be around people that are loving and kind. Let I dwell in those places for all time to come. That's where I seek to dwell. When I'm in Maryland, in my place by myself, I'm dwelling among the safety of righteousness, because I don't have other folks with ideologies that are contrary, a con is a lie, to what I'm about. Right? Yes. So I may have to go this alone, this journey alone, by myself. And whoever comes along on this journey will have to follow the rules and the law of righteousness. And the law of righteousness is a myriad of attributes and actions. Okay? So when I'm accused, when I'm giving kindness or being humble, and I'm accused of being petty or accused of being spiteful or accused of these things, I look at the source. Who is accusing me of these things? Who is it that is accusing me? Always check the source of where this attack is coming from. Okay? Because remember, hurt people are gonna hurt people. They're gonna throw words. The verse yesterday talks about gentle words are going to, you need to respond with gentleness. And you need to respond with that. And when you respond with harsh words, it's going to stir up harshness and confusion. So it's important for us to realize that we are that strong tower against everything that goes against righteousness. So let I and I dwell in that place for all time to come. I receive that. Let I and I take safety in the shelter of righteousness. So righteousness has wings, and you're going to come into the shelter of that righteousness. You're going to come on in there. Selah. Selah is at the end of that verse. Exclamation mark Selah. I didn't put it there. So verse 5. For righteousness have listened to I and I vows. Righteousness has listened to I and I vows and have given I and I the heritage of ones that fear righteousness. You fear righteousness because you don't want to go wrong. You want to keep on the righteous path. So that heritage you've been given, it's for I and I that fear the name of the Most High. And that name is righteousness, goodness, mercy, love. Okay? In verse 6 now is talking about prolonging the life of I and I. Prolong I and I life. May I and I years endure to all generations. Meaning the first generation, the second, the third, the fourth. Okay? Meaning that you will see your great-grandchildren. Ooh, fire eye. That just came out. You're going to see your great-grandchildren. You're going to see your great-great-great-grandchildren. Your great-great-great-nieces and great-great-great-nephews. So verse 7. May righteousness be enthroned for all time to come before the throne of the Almighty's righteousness. Because you know the Almighty is also dreadful and terrible and is going to deal with folks. So not only is God a loving God, but God is also a vengeful God. You leave folks in the hands of that. You don't take it on yourself. You leave it to the Most High. Because that loving kindness and righteousness is going to work together for your good, and you leave it alone. Because righteousness is enthroned for all time to come. They cannot knock righteousness off the throne. It's there. And that's appointed as a steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over I and I. Right? That's what watched over me when I was driving my Jeep, down a steep hill and almost crashed. That's what was watching over me. The steadfast love and faithfulness watches over and kept me and my passengers safe. So in verse 8, I will ever chant Isis to the name of righteousness. And that name of righteousness is a myriad of names. Okay, Kadamawe, Haile Selassie, the name of righteousness. Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, Jesus, Nisi, Kadamawe, Yahweh, Yeshua. All of those are beautiful, steadfast, faithfulness names that are watching over. So you're going to ever chant songs to your personal name. That's your business. As I perform I and I vows day after day after day after day. Day after day I perform I and I vows. All day. Every day. So I give thanks for the psalm today. I give thanks that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of the Most High. Lead I and I to the rock is the psalm today. Lead I and I to the rock. I love it. I wanted to share the verse of the day. As we end the Psalm 61 today, I wanted to share the verse today. And let's see what the verse is today. The verse is coming from First Chronicles chapter 29 verse 11. Yours, righteousness, is the greatest, and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor, for everything in above and below belongs to righteousness. Righteousness is the place that I exalted as head over all. First Chronicles chapter 29 verse 11. I love that. I love that. What belongs to you, righteousness, is the greatest, and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor, for everything above and below is belonging to righteousness. Righteousness is the place that I am exalted as head over all. What is over all? Righteousness. So that is our verse today, that righteousness is exalted as head over all. Yes, I love that. Righteousness is exalted over all. Okay? We have an advocate with righteousness. So we stay in that place. We do not let folks take us out of that place because they're being jealous or envious or want to cause confusion and be, planting seeds of confusion. Confusion makers. That's what folks are. They feel that they're helping, but they're really causing confusion. They're being messy. They're being petty, like they call me, or spiteful. So it's very interesting when we look at, because we see how important it is to be kind and generous in your giving, right? And not just monetarily giving, but giving of righteousness, giving of goodness, mercy, love, and kindness. Giving those attributes will keep you grounded. Let's find the word today. And the word today is visionary. It's interesting because that's why I'm alone. Some people do not see the vision that I have and the inspiration of my creativity, because I'm a visionary. I have visions and I see futures of righteousness, kindness, love, and mercy. And that future of love and kindness, not many people see that. So oftentimes I am really alone, right? And in a space where I am alone, basically. So visionary, being a visionary is what I am. And I love that the word today is visionary. So the word today, visionary, I am divinely inspired with creativity. I am a visionary. Yes. In the past, I may have been advised to get my head out of the clouds or be less fanciful and more practical. But using my divine gifts of faith and imagination is one of the most useful practical things I can do. I see myself in the stories of biblical figures whose dreams led to breakthroughs in righteous standing firmly in righteousness with the clarity of righteous vision. I use wise mind to discern what is right for I life and will to choose the direction to follow. I gift of order strengthens I to know where to begin. And zeal, remember zeal was a word before, that gives I the spark to get started. Get started. I have the t-shirts to do, the books. We're doing the orientation on Saturday. And we're going to start July 8th. We have to start July. We're not prepared. We don't have a staff. We don't have enough funding to start July 8th. June 10th. So we're starting July 8th. So mine is the life of a visionary, a mystic. I pay attention to I dreams and inspirations and act upon I dreams and inspirations to strengthen I visions of becoming reality. So in 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 5 to 6 and 9, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream through the night and said, "Ask what I should give you." And Solomon said, "Give your servant an ever standing in righteousness mind to govern the people." So Solomon didn't ask for riches. He asked for a wise mind to stand firm to govern the people. Right? I love that. Righteousness just appeared, and in a dream through the night, Solomon listened to the words of his vision. So, visionary, listen, turn off the noise and listen. Listen closely. You're going to listen. When you listen, you're going to learn. When you learn, you're going to act. When you act, you're going to do. And when you do, you're going to receive, right? You're going to get what you sow. Sowing good soil. And having that soil rich and moist and nourishing, that it can reap the fruits of your harvest. And what is that? That is goodness, mercy, love, and kindness. That's it. That is what you're going to reap when you sow in the good soil. Thank you for joining Chant a Psalm. This has been Chant a Psalm a day. Visionary is the word today. And we have the verse today coming from 1 Chronicles chapter 29 verse 11. 1 Chronicles 29 verse 11. And then we have the Psalm 61. Lead I to the rock. Lead I to the rock. Selah and Selah again. Have a blessed day, everyone. Chant a Psalm a day. Have a blessed day. And remember, chant a psalm. Chant a psalm a day.